What is going on, everybody? Are you ready for today's live stream? That is what I'm titling this live stream for absolutely no reason. Besides, I didn't know what else to title it. Besides, are you ready? Because I'm ready. And maybe I could come up with some other crazy reason. But until you guys come and join, who's going to be the first person to leave a comment? God Schmilla, the first person to leave a little chat comment. What's going on? Ed DeJurin, James, Carlos, Valve, Maxwell, John, what is it? Where did it go? John Dye, Albie Potter, Harith. What's going on, man? Ryan Toth, everybody, what's going on? So right now, my goal for today's live stream is to live stream for a little bit. I wanted to play Call of Duty later with my brothers and stuff, and so then maybe after the normal live stream we will have a Call of Duty live stream. So that is kind of my goal. Is this lost? No, this isn't. What's up, Bry? Is that how you pronounce that? Kyle McGuire, you have a question? Go ahead and hit me with that question. We're just going to we're gonna do this. I apologize for not having a video up today for my push-up challenge video. I was actually planning on doing one, and then I slept in too late, to be completely honest, because I didn't get much sleep the night before, and I didn't set an alarm, and I slept in late, and then I woke up, and I didn't have time to record the video before I got on with my day. So here we are with the live stream. So, anyways, let me see. Kyle McGuire had a question. Did he type it already? That is the question. I deemed you a question. I hope you respond to my message. I really need help with this question. If you sent me on Instagram, I might try to look it up in a little bit. I'm trying to remember that. Instagram is definitely difficult for me. I've definitely doing a lot more replying on Snapchat as of recently, just because I'm on there more. Kyle McGuire, I don't see it. What's the difference between 11 X-ray and regular infantry? Technically, nothing right out the gate, because regular infantry, what you're talking about, is 11 Bravo, 11 Bang Bang, what people call it. 11 X-ray, the X basically just means that your specific MOS has not been decided yet. So you're going to go to basic, and then once you get to the one station, or the AIT portion of your one station unit training for 11 X-ray, then your MOS, your specific one, will be decided. It is the only other MOS that I know is like that is the Special Forces, which is HQ Trivia is going on right now. We're gonna miss the $25,000 HQ Trivia, dang. But the only other MOS that I know is like that is Special Forces 18 X-ray. So that's that. Matt the God. I am not the God, but I'm glad you put the lowercase g on that. God Schmilla starting off with the $1.99 super chat. Leave the 16th. Any tips of advice for bending? Man, you're going right. You're just gonna head straight into the heat. You're just going all out. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna pick a basic training day, ship day, and go to bending. It's gonna be super hot, and you just want to go in the middle of freaking July. Are you kidding me? Goodness gracious. So big piece of advice is drink water, because I don't want you to be a heat casualty and freaking die. So, I mean, that's pretty much, I've talked about can you die at basic, and pretty much the only time people really die, aside from the once in a blue moon every few years somebody might freaking shoot themselves, is by being a heat casualty and not drinking enough water. Then they whatever. So any tips for you? First of all, enjoy your last few bits of time as a civilian. I say that all the time when you're about to leave, just as you get closer to the date. Just enjoy your time. Make sure you know the Soldier's Creed and all of that jazz. Tips I've done. What's up, Faith? Hey, babe. Faith, you made me lose my train of thought. But I mean, my whole channel is based on tips. You know, people ask me. The stream quality just looks like it got bad, and I apologize for that. But people ask me all the time if I can give you tips on things that I've never talked about. The honest answer is almost like no, because a lot of the best tips I had, every now and then I think of something and I'm like, oh, I've never talked about that before, and then I might make a video on it, or I'll talk about it in a live stream, or something like that, or I'll write it down. But for the most part, the tips I have, so like the basic training tips playlist, like you can just watch that. But let me see, is the stream bad for you guys? Just let me know, because as I'm looking back at this, it sucks. And 163 people. What's going on? All 163 of you. Subtract 1 because Faith is one of them. Is the stream... I'm asking you guys if the stream number is bad. You guys aren't doing very good at answering back to me. It's good. Okay, well, if you guys can see my screen, it looks like a... Oh, why is it... Hold on. Not now. My quality my quality of my stream randomly got changed to 144p, which is bad. So I don't know why that happened, but my stream for my thing just went straight to whatever. Thank you for y'all saying it's good. Every time you say if the stream is good or bad, there will be like 1 or 2 people that say it's bad, but if the majority of people say it's good, then it's good. But for me, randomly my thing got changed to 144p, which is bad. But anyways, Gotcha, are the drill sergeants tougher, or do they ease up because of heat? No, they're not going to ease up on you. The one difference that people don't know about, so if you go to basic training over a hot period of time, so during the summer or whatever, there's this thing called heat. There's these heat categories, and there's different like uniforms or ways that you should wear a uniform in different heat categories. And Heat Cat 5 or Heat Category 5 is like the highest one. So if you're doing any kind of strenuous activity and the temperature is like over 90 something degrees or whatever, it tells you that you need to drink so many quarts of water every hour, and you get to like basically roll up your sleeves a little bit. So normally your sleeve will be buttoned down here at your wrist, and in Heat Cat 5 what you can do is you can unbutton it. I think Heat Cat 4 you unbutton it. Then Heat Cat 5 you unbutton it and roll it up your sleeve a little bit. You do the same thing with your boots. So anyways, what happens if you miss your ship date for any reason? Number one, you get screwed. I've never heard of somebody missing their ship date for any reason other than them just not going, because you can technically just not go. Like you could swear in and do all that stuff and then just not go to basic training, and it's not like you're going to go to jail or anything like that. But if you miss your ship date, what will happen is obviously your MOS that you picked is going to basically go away. So you're going to have to go through the process again of picking another MOS, because that job might have only been available for that specific time period that you chose. So you would have to repick another job essentially, but you could still join, but your ship date would be pushed back. Because like I've said multiple times, like when you pick a basic training date or an MOS, your basic training end date, so the day that it ends, has to line up with the beginning of your AIT date, right? So you can't just leave whenever you want for basic, because at AIT there's different cycles as well, and they have to match up. So we got Jonathan over here with the $4.99 super chat, not 5 but $4.99. It's Fort Sill and Fort Lee hot during the fall and winter, going to basic September 10th to Fort Sill, and then AIT to Fort Lee the end of November. November it probably won't be too bad as far as like the heat or the cold or whatever, but going to Fort Sill, I've never really heard anything good whatsoever about Fort Sill. September is kind of like the fall period, so the only thing is it might be a little bit windy. But I mean, I've never been to either of those basic training or those basic training posts or whatever, so I couldn't tell you from personal experience. I just know from other people, like Fort Sill, people don't ever like Fort Sill. So, anyways, my muscles got bigger. I think it's just y'all don't ever see me with. I don't normally wear tank tops or whatever in my videos. Which, tomorrow's video, I literally just recorded and I'm wearing this. So this is like a sneak peek preview. And I have a vlog going up on Tuesday. Right now I have the vlog scheduled to go up on Tuesday. So many Google questions on here. I don't know what that means. I don't. Maybe your question is you're saying that people can Google questions. Yeah, like literally 99% of questions that people ask me, you could literally just Google the answer to. And I'm not. I don't think I'm probably exaggerating whenever I say 99 out of 100, because you could probably find something. I don't know, maybe 95%. But anyways, Drew Winner, interesting last name. Matt, your videos help my son so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Drew, and I'm glad my videos have helped. That is literally my goal. When people tell me that it's doing that and it's helping people, it's great. How long have you and Faith been together? Since April 1st, literally. Officially April 1st, but we've been talking, or we started talking back in like December, I guess. So, yeah. Anyways, where did that super chat go? I missed it. Oh, it's because you didn't say anything. George K1410, you didn't say anything. Man. All right, let me read something. If you could join any branch, what would it be and why? If I could join any branch, it would be the Army. And because, in my opinion, it's the best. In other people's opinions, it is not the best. I'm just saying it's the best, especially for me. Fort Benning, July 24th, 11 X-ray. It's awesome, coming up here in about 2.5 weeks. It's getting close, man. The quality is awesome. Thank you, Rick. Thank you. Any either branches besides Army? And I've said also in past streams, I probably get this question every single live stream, which other branch I would join. If I were to join another one, it would be the Air Force. And then the next after that would be the Marines, and then the last one would be the Navy. And then after that, people want to throw in the Coast Guard. So if you want to throw in the Coast Guard would be my final pick. Of course, babe, you say Air Force is the best. Is it hard to get airborne if you couldn't get it in your contract at Fort Benning? That is completely dependent on the path that you chose. So if you're going active duty, it would kind of depend, or it would depend on both the MOS you have, the unit you're going to, and then really how long you're wanting to be in, and then I guess your chain of command as well. So if you don't get airborne in your contract and you end up going to an airborne unit, it should be relatively easy to get airborne in your contract. But if you don't get airborne in your contract and you don't go to an airborne unit, then it might be a little bit more difficult because they're not going to have airborne slots. Or if they do, they'll only have like a couple of them. So that might be more difficult. And then same thing with the reserves and the guard. If you don't get it in your contract or whatever, then once you get to a unit, you could try to talk to them. You're probably going to have to be an outstanding soldier for them to even think about it. And then on top of that, if they're not an airborne unit, they're not going to have an airborne slot. So if you can get airborne in your contract, do it. Miguel, how are you doing, sir? I'm doing great, thank you. And JB Entertainment with the $5 super chat. Shipping to Fort Jackson tomorrow. Super pumped. Just wanted to shout out to you before I leave. I read that backwards like 3 times in my head, and I could not get my words out. But that's awesome, JB. I'm assuming those are maybe your initials. Fort Jackson tomorrow. So yeah, you'll be there at the same time my brother is there. So if people will always say, like, oh, I hope I see your brother at Fort Jackson, the only time you would ever see him would be at church. So if you go to like the Protestant church services at Fort Jackson, you might end up seeing him there, and he's been there for like 3 weeks. So he'll be like on his 4th week or something by the time you would see him. We got God Schmilla over here just killing the super chats with another $4.99. I heard many people telling me I need to pass the last PT test. I'm not nervous about failing, but just curious why they said I need to pass only the last. Because the last PT test is the only one that matters. That's why. Because you don't have to pass the PT test to go to basic training. Basic training is supposed to get you into shape, right? Or supposed to make you a soldier. So the first few PT tests and everything that you're doing are just, tests to track your progress. Then the last PT test is the one that actually matters. And even if you fail that one, then you can still retake it. Do you know anything about dual branch relationships? Like, where both people are in two separate branches of the military. Well, me and my girlfriend are in two separate branches of the military, so I obviously know that about it. But I mean, there's no restriction or anything. Like, there's nothing that says that somebody, in my case, from the Army can't date somebody who's in the Air Force. There's nothing against that. I made a video talking about like, you can't date somebody else who's in the military or whatever, and talking about that. So if you want to know my full-on thoughts on it, and the actual rules and regulations that I actually go over, like, I actually read out like the rules on dating basically in the military. So that's something that you might want to look at. I wish I could just like search right now. I mean, maybe technically I could, but that would just take time. But I wish I could just like have somebody working for me and then just like drop in like the link or something to that. How does 25 uniform AIT privileges work? I'm not sure what you mean by AIT privileges. I know 25 uniform. It was very similar to 25 Bravo, right? So all the phases are going to be the same. So once you get there, you're going to be in phase 4. You're going to have to go at least 3 weeks, and after your 3rd week, so on your 4th week, you could phase up. Then after your 10th week, you could phase up to phase 5 plus, where you could then go off post. Your girlfriend's joined. Yes. My girlfriend is currently at her tech school, so she's in the Air National Guard, and she's at tech school right now. She just graduated from her basic training. If you guys follow me on Instagram, there's pictures and stuff on there. Drew with another super chat. Oh, and I see Reed. What's up, man? Will the Army be your career, Matt? And who is the better golfer between your brothers? My son is headed to Benning August 21st for 11 X-ray. He's as prepared as he can be because of you. I really appreciate you saying that. So the Army, like, it's because I've been doing reserves and stuff, and I don't have any plans to switch to active duty. Like, I want to get deployed and stuff, and then I'll be on active orders. So I want to do that. And I do want to be in the military for at least 20 years. So in that sense, I want it to be my career. But it's also just going to be a part of my career. So I also want to keep doing software development and stuff like that. So yes, I want it to be my career, as far as I do want to do the whole 20 plus years thing. So yeah. Getting winded too quickly and need help. Yes, that means you just need to keep on going, and then you won't be winded as quickly. We got George over here. Is it typical to have some home time? Wait, is it typical to have some home time before Bullock, after OCS? I have basic, then OCS at Fort Benning. I'm actually not 100% sure on that, although I do not think so. I don't think you're going to, because you're doing OCS, I don't think that, like, after basic training, that there'll be like a lot of home time. But the thing that you do need to know is that Bullock is going to be way better than AIT. So you're going to have so many more privileges. So especially if you live close to home, whenever you go to your Bullock, like, you could go home on the weekend or something, or you're just going to have a whole lot more privileges. So I wouldn't worry too much about maybe like one day you could go home, like, but that's not going to be guaranteed. So I don't want to sit here and say, yes, you could go home for the weekend after basic training, because I don't know that for a fact. But Bullock, again, it's going to be way better. You're going to have way more freedoms than freaking AIT. Anyways, I mean, oh, gosh, and I just said that totally wrong. It's after OCS. After OCS. And I think so. Gosh dang it. I'm going to have to go back on that whole entire topic that I just said. So after basic, I got confused. God dang it. And this is all recorded in live. You know what happens when you screw up on live video? You can't go back and edit it out. But anyways, after OCS, again, I don't know this for 100% sure, but I think you should get some home time before Bullock, because your Bullock date, because you're not going to find out your Bullock until like whenever you're going through OCS, the odds are it's not going to line up right away, and they're not going to just send you there and then just have you chill out for a couple of months, because you might not leave for a little while. So you could go to OCS, then yes, you should have some time after OCS. That is going to be my answer to that. I'm so sorry I messed that up. But anyways, Joanna, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. And we got a freaking $20 one here. Whoa. With Rick. I don't want to mess up your last name, but thank you, Rick. I really appreciate that. That's ridiculous. Why didn't you say anything? Gosh. Thank you. What are the chances of getting sick at basic training? I would say darn near 100%. Pretty much everybody's going to get some kind of sickness at basic training, whether that's just a really runny nose, a really stuffed up nose, feeling a little bit bad. But it's just because everybody's coming from like basically all over the world. It's not just the United States. There will be people coming from other countries. You might have one or two of those. So there's going to be people coming from all over the U.S., maybe a couple people from another country or whatever, and you're just going to be all thrown into this little room. So it is a very high likelihood that you're going to get some sort of little sickness, maybe a sore throat or whatever, and all that. Man, I've been waiting on my morale raver to join for 5 months, and I've lost almost all my motivation. Read. Waivers sometimes are a pain in the absolute butt, and they can take a while. And I'm sorry that it's taken a while. But anyways, how can I donate? The super chat. Which the super chat thing is the little dollar sign. I think if you're on your phone, I don't think you can donate on your phone. I think you might have to be on desktop. I'm not sure. Harith. I need to get better at names. Can't come up with a question right now, but I never miss any of your videos. They've really helped me anyways. Can't thank enough. Keep up the great job. Well, you keep up the good job, because I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, you're pretty much always like one of the very first people to leave comments on videos. So shout out to you. You are awesome. I send you a snap. You helped me so effing much when my son left. The best. Rick, appreciate that. Thank you. Domino's or Pizza Hut? Pizza Hut all the freaking way. Pizza Hut is the freaking best. My best favorite thing ever is the Meat Lovers stuffed crust. It is the bomb. It is the bomb diggity. The bomb diggity, chimiggity, whatever. Got several Snapchats that you guys are sending me right now. Are you guys sending me like videos of y'all watching the live stream? Which I get those. And they're kind of great. It's just interesting. All right, so my waiver took 3 months. Yep. Pogue is greater than 11. Bravo. Have you seen that video that I talked about that? Can I get pregnant at basic training? If you were to get... you would get in trouble for sure. You're not supposed to fraternize or do anything, especially do that at basic training. You could. It's not like you're asking if you're allowed to do it, because no, you're not allowed to do that. And you might even get your entire contract canceled because you get pregnant. So, because you're not going to be able to finish, you might not be able to finish your AIT because of you being pregnant if it's a longer AIT. So, they might end up canceling the whole thing. So that's not good. Is that why everyone gets shots before? No, the reason that everybody gets shots at reception is because, number one, you got to make sure we got all of our immunizations and stuff. So some people might get a couple more shots than others because they haven't had all the immunization shots that everybody else has had. And then you get a couple extra ones just because, like, the nature of us going to other countries and whatnot. And then if you ever do get deployed, or if you ever do go to a certain country, you will then get also more shots and stuff depending on where you go. Anyways, somebody said something. Did I miss a super chat? Croffin? I don't remember. Did you just post this one? If I join the Army as a master electrician, do I still have to go through the training, not including basic? Yes. You could be the most advanced person in the world at whatever topic it is, and you will still have to go through AIT if that's what you're talking about. So, You're still gonna have to go through it because there's still gonna be things that are gonna be military related that you're not going to have known from your civilian career. That's just the nature of the military. So you can know you might know a little bit about bits and pieces of certain topics and stuff, and you'll have a higher leg up on the material. But you're not gonna be able to skip AIT. Pizza Hut all the way. I'm glad all of y'all agree with me on this whole Pizza Hut thing. Fun fact, I guess, about this Pizza Hut thing. So, whenever I used to live at my parents' house in Locust, North Carolina, when we first moved to Locust, in 2009, when I was a freshman in high school, there wasn't really that much. There wasn't a Walmart there, but then later on, like a Walmart came and all these other things came. And then I remember when I first moved to Charlotte, they built up a Taco Bell. And I love Taco Bell. And I was like, oh, why do they have a Taco Bell? And now they literally just finished, this past week, a Pizza Hut. So now there's another Pizza Hut that's like not even a mile from my parents' house. And I'm like, man, I'm jealous. Because the nearest Pizza Hut to me, I mean, it's not that far. It's like 5 miles. But it's like, still, gosh dang it. Oliver Horn with the $2 super chat. New Zealand basic training versus U.S. basic training plus future. Not sure what you mean by plus future, and I can't compare another country's basic training to ours because I don't know anything about New Zealand basic training. Like, that's the answer to that. I'm sorry I don't, but I mean, it's not going to be better than the U.S. basic training. That's what I could say. Anyways, Matt is worth thousands. Thousands? I hope so. I mean, I guess if you take everything that I have and just sell it. Anyways, Papa John's greater than Domino's, greater than Pizza Hut. Reed, I want to block you for saying that. Are you freaking kidding me right now? That is probably the most blasphemous message ever. What's up, guy? Ghost of Harambe. Anyways, shoot. Tips for becoming a warrant officer for pilot. Not necessarily, I don't really have tips for being a pilot, but warrant officers, you got to be good at your job. And then if you want to be a pilot, it's going to be difficult. So this kind of falls under the category of I tell people just don't worry about it. Because there'll be people who tell me, oh, I want to join and I want to do Delta Force. And I'm like, well, that, first of all, you got to go either 75th Ranger Regiment or you got to go Special Forces. So you got to get that out of the way. Then you got to actually do well and perform well and get deployed a couple of times. And then you could be considered for Delta Force. And there'll be people who are like, I want to join and I want to be a general in the Army. And I'm like, hold your horses there. First of all, you're not actually in the military yet, so you don't even know if you're really going to like it. So thinking you want to be a general, like that's like a 35-year plan. So just chill out a little bit. And then warrant officer, that's like, something that could be like 5 years away and you want to even really be preparing for it until like maybe a year out before you go. So one of those things that just like the people want to do Delta Force or be a general or being a warrant officer, the thing that you need to focus on is just being a good soldier, knowing your job, being proficient at your job and all that stuff, and not getting anything negative on your record. Because when you have to submit a warrant officer packet, you're going to have to get selected and approved and all that stuff. And becoming a pilot is not the easiest thing in the world. Like, it's not, they don't just pick whoever just because they want to be a pilot. So the first thing is don't stress too much about it. And the second thing is just focus on doing your job and being good at your job. Anyways, I hope you do a live chat before I leave for basic, which is September 10th. It's a Monday. Yes, wait. I hope I do a live chat. I don't know what you mean by live chat. Yeah, I'll do another live stream by then for sure. And I missed a super chat. I think God Schmilla Pizza Hut is trash. God Schmilla, you are trash. But yeah, with stuffed crust on Pizza Hut, man, that's the best. And I just said that with a lisp. That was terrible. So yeah, like Drew, man, people literally will, and I've had like a lengthy conversation with somebody who was just really wanting to join, and his goal was to be a general, and he was like wanting tips on how he can become a general. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, to make it up to like that high of a rank. People ask me what rank I want to be. The rank I want to be whenever I retire is a lieutenant colonel, right? The reason I want to be a lieutenant colonel instead of other ones is because you should be able to reach a lieutenant colonel on average. It's about 17 years. So, if it takes 20 years or whatever, that's the thing. But to reach colonel, so the rank above lieutenant colonel, to reach colonel, you basically have to dedicate your entire officer career to doing it, because as officers, there's different things you have to do in order to get promoted, and it's very difficult. So even just to rank colonel, that's difficult. To become a general, you have to be like approved by Congress, and it's insane. So anybody who wants to be a general, just take it one step at a time. Be an awesome second lieutenant, because that's going to be reflected back on your career for forever. They're going to wonder what kind of second lieutenant you were. Be an awesome captain, be an awesome major. Just take it one step at a time. If you want to be a sergeant major, command sergeant major, same thing. Take it one step at a time. Joey with the $5 super chat, 19 Delta, leaving July 30th. Thanks for the videos, Matt. They really helped me. Appreciate that. And holy cow, I need to sip for this one. $50 super chat. First of all, did I go through ROTC? If so, was it a scholarship or not? Yes, I went through ROTC. No, I did not get an ROTC scholarship. And no, you do not have to go to basic training still. Where is this? Where is this thing? Oh my goodness. Glommy. I'm just going to say Glommy. I just got out of high school a month ago, and I ship out the 31st of this month for basic training. I'm only 18. Do you think I made the right choice? I only plan doing 4 years. So yes, I think you made the right choice. I don't think people really ever make the wrong choice by joining the military. Reason being is, like I've said before, if you join and you just decide that you're like, I hate this, and you're like, not just the basic training, because people will hate basic training, which is fine, and then they get to the actual army and they're like, oh, this is great. But some people will actually just be like, oh, I just hate the military. If that's you, if that ends up being you, and you did your 4-year contract, at the end of those 4 years, you're going to be freaking 22 years old, which is 3 years younger than me. You will then be able to go to college for free. You will then have life experiences that you never would have had. You will then have friendships and friends that you're going to have for basically life. It's going to be great. There's so many positives that will come from it. So yes, I think you made the right choice. And if you're just wanting to do it for 4 years to get that experience, to give back to your country, to do whatever, that's perfectly great. And yes, if you want to go to college, you can then go to college for free. That's awesome. There's really nothing else. There's nothing else like the military, with all the opportunities that it opens up for you. Yes, you got to actually join and put in the time, but the benefits, I think, far outweigh the cons for pretty much everybody. Again, even if you hate it, you're gonna be done at 22. 22. It's ridiculous. So if you decide to get out, you're gonna be 22 years old, starting off way ahead of, in my opinion, ahead of many other of your peers. General Ward. No, I'm gonna be Lieutenant Colonel Ward. That's the goal. Like I said, Lieutenant Colonel. My dad always used to poke fun, and this was way before I even wanted to join, and he would just say Major Matt. So once I reach the rank of Major, it would be Major Ward, but, he would just say Major Matt. Anyways, we got some more super chats here. Gosh dang, guys. I mean, it's hard. I can't read the other questions. I mean, you guys are super chat. William, the $10, 13 Bravo, option 4, or Airborne, leaving in 2 weeks. I've been watching for half a year. Goodness. Always learning from every vid you post. Can't thank enough. Wish this could be more. Now, you're like, literally, like, $1 is more than I ever thought was going to happen. I remember my first super chat, I think that's something I did, that was like $5, or it was $4.99 or something, and I was just like, it's crazy, and it still means now just as much as it does then, and I like really appreciate that people are willing to do that and give back to me for me, making these videos and helping you out or whatever. I really appreciate that. But yeah, 6 months, that's a long time to be watching me talk. I think it's crazy. Anyways, what is people talking about? Rick gotta top him. Gosh, let's not get a super chat war going here. Where's the tip? Reed. Jesse, would I be able to change my MOS during contract after AIT? Yes, you could, but it is unlikely. Gosh, I really need to make a video sometime soon on more of the specifics on changing your MOS and the different circumstances surrounding when you can change your MOS. But basically, if you want to change your MOS during your contract, it's going to be kind of luck of the draw. Like, there's really no way to guarantee that because it's going to go off of needs of the Army. Not needs of you, not needs of, hey, I want to change my MOS because I hate this one. It's not going off of that. It's going off needs of the Army. So if you're in an MOS that is overstocked with people, there's too many people, and then there's another MOS that you want to transfer to that is understaffed, then the likelihood of you being able to switch is a little bit higher. Also, maybe you're in a unit and they need another MOS. They need somebody with these skills. And you're like, hey, I want to do that. They would probably end up sending you to be MOS qualified for that specific MOS, and then you could do that. It's also, it's uncommon for somebody to stay the same MOS. Obviously, I've only been in for 3.5 years now, but from what I've been told, from what I've seen from people who've been in for 20 years and retired, it's pretty uncommon for somebody to stay the exact same MOS for their whole 20 years. But changing in your contract is unlikely. So yeah, but I really should make a video on that. Can I join the Marines if I have psoriasis? You should be able to. Heidi, do you think 88 Hotel is a bad or good MOS? What's 88 Hotel? My mom said my Snap story is the funniest Snap story ever. Hotel. If you guys aren't following me on Snap, go ahead and do it. It's right here. Cargo Specialist. So obviously, because I had to look it up, I don't really know much about the MOS, so I couldn't tell you whether it's good or bad. But if it seems like something that you're interested in, or if it's something that you think could help you further on with your career, then I would say it's good. But if you want to do it just for the heck of it, then I would say no. Because any MOS is going to be good or bad depending on the individual. 25 Bravo, the MOS that I enlisted in, was great for me. Loved it. But other people wouldn't like it. So, Matt, when did you start working out and preparing for the military? So, the first time I ever touched a weight to really work out was in 5th grade summer, when my parents sent me and my older brother to the YMCA for like a summer training kind of thing, and we did a little bit of weightlifting and stuff like that. I think at the end of that, I was in 5th, so I was like 10 years old. I remember my bench press being 90 pounds. I didn't reach 95 pounds. For those of you who don't lift weights, 95 pounds on a 45-pound bar is 2 25s, or a 25 and a 25. And I never reached that. I only got to 90 pounds, so I specifically remember that. And then I didn't, work out until high school. And then I did a little bit going out throughout high school because I played sports. I played in high school. I played football. I played basketball. I played baseball. I was best at baseball. But freshman year, playing football, going to those summer workouts and stuff like that. I remember I got my bench up to like 150, 155 or something. And then the only time I ever worked out through high school was, through freshman, sophomore, junior year, was basically when I had weightlifting class. So I would work out in that semester, and then I would just wouldn't touch a weight. I wouldn't do anything. And so I would gain some strength, and it would go away. I was never really out of shape, but I was always in shape, but I was never big. I was super, super, super skinny. And I remember at the start of my senior year of high school, I think I remember weighing myself like 133 pounds or something. I'm 5'10", 5'10" and a half, depending on who's measuring me. And I weighed 133 pounds, so I was pretty freaking skinny. And that was when I started working out. And then by the end of my senior year of high school, I remember weighing like 161 pounds, so just over 160 pounds. So I basically gained 100, or I gained 30 pounds, and then at the end of that year, I benched 255. So that was whenever I really started working out, and that was when I really got serious about it. I ended up getting injured and stuff like that. When I started preparing for the military specifically was as soon as I decided that I wanted to join. Whenever I decided I wanted to join, I started to look up YouTube videos on basic training. I started doing all this stuff, and I knew that you needed to be able to run. I knew that you needed to be able to do push-ups. I knew you'd be able to do all this stuff. So I started doing that. So about 4 months before I left for basic training was when I started preparing for that. Jonathan with the $4.99 super chat. You've been an inspiration to those who want to join the military. I respect that. You definitely gave me confidence to join it. I'm going off chat now. Jonathan, I appreciate it. You probably don't even see this because I answered that so late. But anyways, let's go. Hey Matt, I'm at Fort Jackson right now, and reception shipping out tomorrow. That's ridiculous. Matt, can you talk on single moms going to the Army and keeping their kids? So, I honestly, all right, so I don't know anything specifically like regulations-wise, right? But you will get like separation pay. You should get some extra pay because you do have a kid, but you're going to have to find somebody to basically take care of your kid. I don't know how old they are while you are in training. Because you're not going to be able to obviously take them with you to basic training. You're not going to be able to take them with you to AIT. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to work out on your end. I don't know if there's any like regulations on you getting some extra pay from the government to have it pay for like a daycare or something like that. I don't know. But I do hear some people every now and then, some single moms will message me and ask me the exact same question that you're saying. You're like, what should they do? I don't know too many specifics on it, but again, that's something that you really should talk to a recruiter about because they probably came across this. They know the regulations. They know all that stuff. So anyways, do you like to fish or hunt? I would say I think it would be fun, but I don't think I've gone fishing, several times, but I've never actually gone out and hunted anything. I've got some weapons and everything like that, but I've never really hunted anything. It doesn't seem appealing to me to like go out and sit in like a deer stand and wait for several hours to shoot a deer. Like I feel like, if hunting was something where you just go out there and within like 30 minutes there's something there and you can just shoot it, I think it'll be a little more fun, and I think I'll be more into it, but that's just too slow for me. Anyways, how you pick your MOS as an officer. So it's a little bit different. So you don't necessarily pick your MOS, you pick a list. And then from that list you get selected and it's given to you. I've talked about that so many times in the past, and I will be making a video on the OML list soon. Anyways, William over here, but for real. I have a family member in the Army, and every day I go to your channel. Thank you. And I swear I've watched the Red Phase video 6 times. God bless. If you're talking about my very first Red Phase video, like one of my first videos that I made was basic training, Red Phase, day 1 through day 17, I think it was. Gosh, that was terrible. I messed up the color, saturation stuff. Like, I want to like take that video down because the color, like, it just is so bad. The mic is terrible because I was using the phone and it was like cutting. It was just bad. But I know that video helps out so many people, and it was so old, so it was just like me speaking. Obviously I might have said several more times than I do now. Every now and then I'll say and butt, or like, I'll say all that stuff now, but back then it was definitely a lot more. But man, that video, I look, you know, like they say, like, you know, if you're not looking back at videos you did a year later, and you're like, what the heck? I definitely do that. I definitely do that, and even videos now, like, you know, I just things improve slowly, little bits and pieces every now and then. What do you think about guys in ROTC, and do you have any pet peeves that new LTs do? I don't think I haven't acquired any new pet peeves. My biggest pet peeves now are basically like uniform, making sure your uniform is good, and then not, and it's disrespectful in general, but, you know, not talking to a whole bunch of people. So if I'm trying to brief something and I'm trying to talk and whatever, it's a pet peeve of mine for people to talk while I'm talking. Which is great. This is great because I'm talking and nobody's interrupting me, you know. Anyways, Matt, how was feeding those cows earlier? That was great. So if you guys watch my Snapchat, I'm gonna see who has added me. So we've had several people add me. I probably shouldn't show usernames because not everybody probably wants to have their thing. But anyways, feeding those cows was crazy. It was the first time I've ever done that. It's the closest I've ever been to a cow. And again, you should watch my Snapchat if you want to know what the freak he's talking about. And like, feeding a cow in and of itself isn't scary. And I wasn't like, it wasn't like I was scared. It was just sketchy, you know. Like, it's just really sketchy. Like, getting to a cow, because what would happen, you can't really tell that much on video, but like, you would feed them, and I would feed them, and then like, once you would feed one, like, all the other cows would like swarm you, and then they would just start coming after you, and like, they don't stop, like, they will push you over, and it's like, they don't know their own freaking strength, they don't know how weak you are. Like, I don't care how strong a person is, they're not gonna stand up to a cow, or like a bull. Like, there was a few bulls and stuff out there, like, you know, and we would be riding on the little gator thing, and they'd just be coming after us. So that was the thing. It was like, if it was just one by itself, it wasn't bad. But then, like, once you feed one, then they all just swarmed you. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is totally sketchy. You should do an update on it then. Yeah, I did an update on Red Phase, like, basic, but I haven't, like, copied the video. I just kind of, like, updated it a little bit. Any hazing stories? Not really. The one thing that is hazing that used to be a tradition that's not a tradition anymore because it's technically hazing is, like, have you ever, you probably haven't, or some of you haven't, I'm sure some of you have, when you would go, like, infantry, or if you were going, like, airborne or whatever, what would happen was you would get these pins, right? And what they would do is they would pin you, and, like, it's an actual, let me see if I can grab this. So, hold up, just a second. Hold up. So I got this little thing right here. Has got these are my old little cadet stuff, right? Old name tapes. But anyways, let me find my old cadet pin. So all the stuff that you basically get on your uniform are gonna have pins about like this, right? So you can see this pin's pretty difficult, or pretty big. So if I were to put this, you know, if I were to put this right here, like, and then somebody were to just smack it and just punch me, it's going into my skin. And that's something that used to happen. Like, whenever you would go branch infantry, you would they would do that to you. They would put them here, and they would just, boom, they would punch you. And you would bleed. Same thing with going airborne. They would pin on your wings and just hit you. That is considered hazing now. You are not supposed to do that because people would get infections and stuff. Because it's not like you clean that, so you don't do that. The same thing with pinning on ranks. So whenever you wear your rank in the center of your chest, what will happen, like when your change of rank ceremony or whatever, they will take off the patch. Then they'll put the other patch on and punch you in the chest. And so what would happen is people would get punched in the chest, like right here, extremely hard, and basically, severely injure the person. So that's really only hazing stories, or the thing, or that's really a hazing thing that people think of when they think of the military, but it doesn't happen anymore. Again, hazing isn't technically allowed. I know of something crazy. Like, this is my grandfather's story. So he was in the Navy and the Coast Guard, but he was in the Navy first, and then I believe he did the Coast Guard afterwards. But something that I don't know. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, so he was on a ship, and if you were basically new, what they would do, or it was something like, I would love to have him on here again and tell some crazy stories, because he's in his 80s, so he was in the military like 60 years ago when things were crazy different now, or back then. And so on the ship, they would have this person, like, when they would be a fat person, they would literally, like, oil them up and, like, rub your face in the person's belly, or they'll be like, all this crap, and they would just, like, throw you in it if you were, like, new, and it was just, like, extremely disgusting. And it was something either, like, you're brand new, or it's the first time you crossed the equator, or something weird like that. And that's the Navy, I guess. I don't know if that stuff still happens. I don't think it does. But yeah. So anyways, let me scroll down some more. Sorry, man, I had to leave. You're fine. How can I be prepared for basic training? Watch every single one of my videos. Is it a good idea to do RTC? Yes, if you want to be an officer. I can't join the military. Why? Name me? I don't know if I said that right. This is a non-hazing military, yeah. Difference between 25 Bravo and 25 uniform, and who are your favorite Army YouTubers? Difference between 25 Bravo and 25 uniform is, number one, they're two completely different MOSs. They are related a little bit, because you got to know a little bit of computer stuff to do 25 uniform, but 25 uniform is more centered around radios, whereas 25 Bravo is more centered around computers. So that would be the difference. My favorite Army YouTubers, so I don't really watch any other Army YouTubers. The bigger one, somebody that I watched, a lot before, and I still watch his vlogs and stuff now, but I don't think it's necessarily he's an Army YouTuber, but that was Nick Bear. The whole VPN supplements, he runs that and everything now, and just basically posts vlogs. Maybe every now and then he might talk about him being an infantry officer. So I watched him, and then, me and Erica Burney, she's an Army YouTuber. We're friends and whatnot, but I don't watch other military YouTuber channels because I'm already in the military. So that's that. Every now and then I might watch something, but that is that. Going to be 19 kilo, awesome. My God, I hate this character limit. What did you type? That's kind of how my recruiter's gonna response from her. Oh, okay. Hi, Matt. I have the opportunity to play college baseball, but I have motivation to join the military. What do you think I should do? Well, first of all, Owen, you need to really consider where you want to go with baseball. So, yes, you could play college baseball. That's freaking awesome. But do you think that you have the opportunity to play beyond college baseball? Do you think you'll be able to go to some kind of minor league farming team and then possibly work your way up to the major leagues? So you need to be realistic with that. The other thing that you're going to need to do is, obviously, you could join the Guard of the Reserves. That is something that you could do. Even if you're playing college baseball, you could do that. But you're going to have to, obviously, let your coach know and everything. So that's something you're going to have to work out. But really, you just need to look at, in my opinion, how serious you are about baseball. Because you could get, after you graduate college, so you could go to college and you don't have to really deploy when you're in college. You can kind of get out of deployments during college. except if we go to war or something like that. That might not be too easy to get out of. But, you know, if you want to be really serious, you know, after you graduate college, you could end up getting deployed, and then you might not, like, maybe an actual league where they're going to pay you. Maybe they don't want to pay you for that. So you could play during college, but, or you could be in the reserves during college. But after that, I think you'd really have to ask yourself, like, how serious you are. So anyways, that's my thoughts on that. Can I give my mom a U.S. citizenship if I enlist? No, you cannot. JT Suits is a Navy YouTuber, said they did that when they crossed the equator. I think he said it's called turtle backing or something like that. That's ridiculous. The Navy is just a little, just a little bit different. You hear a little bit different stories. And it's not like the Navy's bad. It's just if you think about it, you know, in any other branch, you're not necessarily just cooped up on a ship for months at a time, because they will go out and not see land for 3 or 4 months or whatever. I'm sure there's all kinds of crazy stories from that. Oh yeah, Matt. Kyle Gott said he'd like to do a video with you one day. Yeah, I would do a video with Kyle for sure. If I lied at MEPS and just come completely clean from my security clearance, will they discharge me? Don't. Oh, gosh. Well, first of all, you shouldn't have lied at MEPS. If it's something serious, you shouldn't have lied. If it's something super minor, I think you're totally fine. For the security clearance, I don't know. I think you should kind of stick to it a little bit. I don't know if they discharge you, but, you know, that's you kind of dug yourself in a hole there. That's why I say, if it's gosh, no, actually, I haven't even uploaded the video yet because that's coming out on Wednesday, so I can't even tell you what I was about to say because I talk about it on Wednesday. So stay tuned Wednesday. I like your goatee. Thank you. Yeah, people ask me, they'll be like, well, people will be like, you know, I thought you were in the military, but why do you have facial hair? Well, being in the reserves, you don't have to shave every single day. If you're active duty, you do. So that's why you get this. So I don't really mind shaving this as much. Like, you can't really see it. You can't really see it, but there's just a little bit of hair there. Plus, I got a haircut. I got a haircut today. It's been a little while. I absolutely love getting haircuts. If I could get a haircut literally every 2 or 3 days, I would. Like, I'm not even kidding. I hate this being any longer than it is right now. Do you suggest doing military first or college? I've talked about that. And having the military pay for college is definitely a big pro, so you need to consider that, or at least doing like the reserves or something, and then going to college to where you can get some of your college paid for. Because the reserves or guard, it's, you know, unless you get some kind of really nice, you know, college student loan repayment program thing or something like that, the reserves or guard probably isn't going to pay for your entire college, but it should be able to pay for some of it. So if you don't want to go active duty first, you could do reserves or guards, go to college. Once you're done with your 4 years, or maybe even the 5 years, if it takes you 5 years to graduate college, like it does for most people, then I think that's fine. Gosh, I didn't even realize I've been freaking live for an hour. I was literally only supposed to do this live stream for 30 minutes. But, because yeah, so like a lot of people don't realize that college is actually kind of difficult. You know, especially if you're going to be a STEM major. I'm a STEM major, or I was a STEM major in computer science. So if you're going to do engineering or nursing or anything that's a STEM major, your college experience is going to be a lot more difficult than somebody who's going to be like a business major or a psychology major or a something else major that's not a STEM major. It's definitely difficult. And to graduate in 4 years basically means that either you could probably fail like a couple of classes, 1 or 2. And then you could probably make up for it in a semester or something like that. But, I mean, a lot of people will end up dropping classes or whatever, and it just takes an extra semester or even an extra year. So anyways, I mean, how cool must AIT be for 88 uniforms? I mean, I have so many questions. I'm not sure about 88 uniform AIT. One of the goals that I had with this channel, I think that eventually I'm going to be able to reach this point. But as of right now, it's just like I want to make videos with so many other people and so many other different MOSs and just have them talk about their MOS. Like, that's what I would love to do on this channel, is to upload all basically MOSs and either have a video talking about AIT, what their AIT is like, so any tips for that, and then have them talk about kind of like a day in the life, like what they really do and if they enjoy their job or whatever. So I would love to have like 2 videos of really every single MOS eventually on this channel. And the reason I was saying at this point is because, like, some of you guys, I think that eventually, maybe especially if I put a video out there saying this, like, you know, once you get done with your training, like, I would not be against, you know, meeting one of you guys up and talking about or making a video about your specific MOS that you have. And as this channel keeps growing and as I keep time keeps going on, you guys are going to make it through training, and then we can do that. Probably won't be able to do it with every single MOS because there's like 160 MOSs, 160 plus, and that's a lot. But could definitely do it with some of the major ones. My MOS is 25 Alpha, which is a signal officer. There is no 74 Delta videos. Yeah, I mean, like, there wasn't, I think at the time that I enlisted, I don't think there was anything on 25 Bravo. Like, my MOS, like, there was nothing on 25 Bravo until I think I made a video on 25 Bravo. So top 5 MOS jobs, combat or not combat. I hate that because I don't think there's a top 5. I'm sorry. I could do a top 5 for me, like for top 5 for me, but like that's, you know, ridiculous. Like, what are you gonna go off of? Because, you know, people on the civilian side will be like top 5 jobs where you get paid the most, or top 5 jobs where you have the most free time, or something like that, or whatever. And it's generally kind of based off of a balance of pay and free time. But like in the military, all the pay is going to be the same. It doesn't matter what MOS you have. You're going to get paid the same as somebody else. So it really just comes down to your interests. So whatever you're interested in is going to be specific to you. Savage Patch Matt, that's a different answer depending on how you ask. Anyways, I'm not sure what I was talking about. I don't know. I like 11 Charlie. Same with 25U. I'm homesick. How can I prevent homesickness in the military? I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I feel like younger people are definitely more susceptible to being homesick because they're not used to being away from home. And then how you get over it is just by getting over it with time. I don't really have much of an answer to that because for me, whenever I joined, I had already been out of home for like 2 years or something, 2 or 3 years before I joined, because I joined at I left for basic training at age 22. I enlisted at 21, so and I left for college at like 18. So like I hadn't been home really all that much anyways. So anyways, I was thinking about playing some Call of Duty after this. I'm not sure what you guys think about that. What do you guys think about that? Playing a Call of Duty stream after this? I was thinking of doing it for just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yes. Oh, we've had seven Snapchatters add. Your arms during the 10-second rest? COD stream, yes. Did you ever go through RTC? Yes, I went through RTC. Hey bro, what's good? Is that you, Parker? You should play Call of Duty. Woo! I'm playing at the moment too. Savage Patch Matt? No. So it's either this though. It's either this is basically the end of the stream. So if you don't want to watch me talk anymore with the chat, you can, you know, go, or you can stay. But the 2 options is either me cutting off the stream right now, or me cutting off the stream, waiting about 5 minutes to get everything ready, and then playing Call of Duty. Man, we had 3 people leave just now. Gosh dang. Those 3 people. Let me see here. How was your day? My day was good. My day was good. And I was gonna play with my brothers, but he hasn't messaged me back as of the past few minutes. So, anyways, yes. Pretty much everybody's saying yes. Country finally to come back with World War II. Thank you so much. You've helped me so much. Now I know what I'm doing, so thank you for that. I hope you see this. Thank you. You're the best. Jonathan Wilkins. Yes, I saw it, and I appreciate that. COD stream sounds good. I'm down for COD. Which one? World War II? Yes, World War II. We're going to do that. I'm probably going to get a drink or whatever. Yeah. And I think that's basically it. And, yeah, that is it. We're going to get off of the stream. We're going to get back. Yo, Matt Ward. I asked Nava to do a challenge video versus you, and he responds saying, tell him to come to New York, and it's all good. Sorry for my bad English. Yeah, I already said that I would go to New York if I was going to do a challenge versus Nava. I mean, I literally, I mean, I don't mind. Like, I mean, I would love to go to New York. I've never been. I've only driven past New York, and it's not that far. I would go to New York in like 2 seconds, because I've wanted to do a challenge versus Nava for a while, and I think it would be fun. I think it would be beneficial for both people. So Ryan, you could just tell him, yeah, but I mean, yeah. Matt, how has your experience been so far with employers respecting your service and or not punishing you by not promoting you, etc.? So far, I've had the best experience, I guess, with the company that I work for now, as a reservist and everything. His son is in the National Guard, so he really honestly doesn't know that much about the military, but he knows, like, his son is in the military, so he obviously supports the military. And then he doesn't have a problem with me if I, like just the other day I told him I had to go to Fort Jackson or whatever, and I wasn't going to be able to work for a few hours. Totally okay, because he gets it, and he's like, anything like that, anything military related, if I need to go or if I need to be gone for a little bit, like I'm going to be leaving for, whenever I leave for annual training, whatever, it's no problem whatsoever. So anyways, how do I find my way through the airport when I ship? Your recruiter should tell you where to go, hopefully. Reception should take about 4 days to a week. But anyways, that's it. We're going to switch over to the Call of Duty stream right now. For those of you who are not going to come to the Call of Duty stream, thank you for watching this. I'm going to have a video up tomorrow. I'm going to have a vlog going up on Tuesday. I'm excited for that. And then, yeah, and then on Wednesday I got like a little Q&A video. So that's my little tip for you guys. I'm going to get off of here now, and I will see you guys in just a few minutes. And I will be back.